right, people. Welcome all. If I could ask you all to take a couple steps in, away from the street. I'm Allison Beatty. I kind of organized this gathering today. Woo-hoo, let's go. People are still arriving. I know they have to park far and walk a little bit of a distance, but I do want to get started. We have kind of a long program today, and I'm looking forward to seeing how it all goes. But again, I'll ask you to, if you could be on the grass and not out on that sand. We don't want to be the ones causing any problems, because that's not what we're going to do here today. We're going to make good trouble. So again, if you could be in off the sand, away from the edge of the road. We've seen a couple of people pass by already, right? I just love to wave to them and say, you know, we're Americans too. Isn't that great that we all have the right to say what we want? And this is awesome. Just wave. Woohoo! Because we can't have sides. We can't have sides. We have to make room for everybody. Because, and I'm going to say this later, but it's a good line, I'm going to use it. If they don't sit at our lunch table, they're going to go sit at somebody else's lunch table. So we need to have room at our table. Now, some people are never going to want to sit with us, but that's okay. That's all right. All right, I guess we're ready to get started. I hope enough of you have programs that you kind of know what's going on. We are going to be in this park for maybe an hour, it looks like, with speakers and music. And I'll get us started. So it's Flag Day. Happy Flag Day. I see a lot of you. Uh-oh. Okay, you're okay. Thank you. Just need a hand. All right. Might be more comfortable. All right, we're just going to pause for a minute here. There are a couple more chairs around too. Can somebody get a chair maybe from over here? Hey guys, you're gonna have to listen to my voice at least, yeah. Those chairs are up for there we go. Thank you. Okay. Yeah. Okay guys, I need you to move off the sand, onto the grass. This park is big. Come to the edges, come around and come inside. Oops, this is also on. Good to know. All right, happy Flag Day. Let's go back to that. Lots of you have your flags. Lots of you are dressed in red, white, and blue. I'm Allison Beatty, Cherryfield resident since 2018. I'm a school board member, open mic host, and apparently a rally organizer, if truth be in the mix.
Thank you.
We are here today because we love our country. The representative democracy we still live in. As some of you know, we've been rallying on the bridge every Tuesday at noon since about mid-February. So yes, we did shovel snow. We have shivered in the winds. We have held up umbrellas, and we've been there every Tuesday. And we will be every Tuesday until. I'm in this for the long haul. I'm in this for as long as it takes. I'm in this because this is one way to express our values. Our democracy has so far made us the greatest, most inclusive, compassionate, decent, generous, and wealthiest nation on this planet. It's not set up to be some sick race to the top of some billionaire pyramid where you then just keep grabbing more for yourself and pushing others off. We see that happening, but that's not what this country is. That's not who we are. And we're the ones who get to decide what this country is. That's why we're here, because we all believe that in some way or another. And we can't do it all on our own. So we set up our government to do a lot of those things for us. And we the people, set the agenda. It seems many politicians are struggling with that concept, as we see every day.
Yeah.
But guess what? History is not on their side. Look where we've been. Look where we've come from. We've been here before. They're trying to make us afraid with the brutal, cruel, lawless, destructive actions of this administration and now of our law enforcement and maybe our military. You saw what they did to Senator Padilla?
Yeah.
And we have someone who will speak to what happened just recently this morning, I guess. And that's not okay. And I'm proud to stand with all of you here, despite your fears, because I would imagine some of you are a little bit fearful. Who's a little bit afraid today? A little bit nervous? Somebody said, be careful. Did anybody say be careful to you? We're in America. That's kind of scary that we have to say that. So we're here to say, among other things, get this train back on the tracks.
Yeah.
What are you doing? What the hell are you all doing? Right? That's what I want to know. So we're going to do our first call and response. We did really great with that in April. And I'm ready for it this time. I didn't realize how emotional that is for the person up here when you all yell this cool thing back at me. But I'm ready. I'm ready for you now. I got the box of Kleenex here too. That was another issue last time. So I'm going to say intimidation and fear, and you're going to say, we are here. Intimidation and fear.
We are here.
Intimidation and fear.
We are here.
Intimidation and fear.
We are here.
Thank you. And I wasn't quite ready, but I got Kleenex. So. All right, couple of housekeeping items before we get started. The Paisley Loon, which is across the bridge and on the other side, little coffee shop, has a restroom that says customers only, but you are all invited to use that restroom if you need to. Be respectful, please. Maybe put a tip in the jar, buy a coffee or a sandwich. And I just found out someone's left the doors open at the Congregational Church across the river that also has restrooms. Again, we're being super respectful today, and I love that people are doing that for us. There are some signs to borrow. I know some people saw them. The one sticking up in the flower pot. And Julie has some more in her van at the end of the bridge. So when we move to the bridge, you might grab a sign there. But our primary thing today is safety. When you're on the bridge especially, cars are driving by. The street is narrow. The bridge is pretty wide. You have plenty of room on there. But please don't let your flags wave into the street. Don't step into the street, unintentionally, because we can't be unsafe. We're going to post reminders that it's 25 miles per hour. Just wave. I'm waving. It's America. We'll post reminders that the speed limit is 25 miles an hour, and that has been on Tuesdays slowing people down. But we'll see how it goes. Some people aren't happy that we're here, so they may let us know by, revving their engine, woohoo, and doing other things. So those people who aren't happy with us, like I said, we're waving and smiling. We're not engaging. There's no point. There's nothing you could say to the guy driving by that he's going to go, you know what? I think they're right. Unless you're that clever. And then we need to get you signed up for another job because we need you somewhere else.
Run for office.
Yeah. That's right. This is and will be a peaceful expression of our views. And again, if you just have to be ready to listen to my voice. If we have a problem with hecklers or any kind of incident, I'll be ready to direct you. Some people have asked about the thing that's going around. It started on I saw it first on Facebook. To sit down if there's a problem. I don't believe I'll ask you to sit down if there's a problem. That seems very dangerous to me. There may be some situation where it makes sense, and then I'll say, everybody sit down. But probably I'll say, everybody move away. Seems to be more in line with common sense. But again, it depends. So this is what's on your program, and this is what we use on Tuesdays. Be safe. Sorry, I'm a high school teacher. Was a high school teacher, so we got to have a visual. So we're here in community with each other. So your actions or your words don't just affect you, but could affect everybody here in this community. And today we are a community. You may not know half the people here or more than half. I think I know quite a lot of the people here, actually. Awesome. But we are in community. Don't engage. We already kind of went over that. Of course, you could cheer, wave, smile, but don't engage in a negative way. Don't provoke anyone. And you can sometimes do that with a hand gesture. Please don't. There's only one hand gesture. And if you must, make it the what is it? The Queen of England wave. Yes, thank you. The Queen of England wave. Okay, so see the vest. And maybe today my vest is this white jacket. If anybody wants to chat with you and you really don't want to chat with them, but you want something to say to them, you could say, hey, could you go see the lady in the vest? On Tuesdays, I wear a vest. And I will chat with him all day long. We had a very interesting, it wasn't even QAnon. It was like beyond QAnon man who came by and we had a nice long chat. But nobody else has to do that. Why do you want to? Unless you want to. But again, be peaceful. And finally, please, we had a motorcycle go back and forth last time, I don't know, dozens of times. We never recorded him. I don't know what we were thinking. I found on the bridge that people don't like it when you're sticking your camera up to record. Sometimes I was recording, other times I have to say my finger wasn't on the right button, but they thought I was recording them. So if there are any incidents, please get your camera out and record. And if you can't do that, be a good witness. What did they look like? What kind of, car were they driving? What did they say? What did they look like? Things like that can be very helpful. We've been able to, call something into the sheriff because we actually had a license plate. Things like that. And this is the safety gear that I need. It has a siren on it. So if you hear that, we know something has gone terribly wrong. And I can also, when we're over on the bridge, I can have my voice be heard, I hope. All right. So let's get to the program. Let's get started. The Pledge of Allegiance. This is how we start. And sometimes people say, when I first said we were going to do the pledge, they were like, I don't really resonate with the pledge. And we have to remember it concludes with the words, with liberty and justice for all. So on this Flag Day, I'm once again proud to introduce Peter Dustin, former Republican of almost 30 years, retired soldier with 34 years of active and reserve service. Still bugling with military honor guards, assisting at hundreds of veterans' funerals, serving his community in countless ways. If you don't know this man, you're missing quite a lot. He was already at an earlier event today in Jonesboro, but got back to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance, because that's where his heart is. And I'll let him talk. So thank you, Peter.
Thank you, Allison. Thank you. Yes, I am a veteran. Our Veterans Affairs and our veterans are under attack by the President of the United States, who's supposed to be the Commander-in-Chief. 83,000 VA workers are poised to be fired in an already overworked system. Those of us that are veterans and use VA services know just how important that is. Today is the 240th anniversary of the U.S. Army. It's also the 240th anniversary of the founding of the beginning of the Revolutionary War, 240 years ago. Why did we fight that war? I brought my show and tell because I was a teacher too. Taught history and government. This is a reproduction 1775 piece of sculpture. And it says on there, and I have this in my office and I hang it on my mantle. It says, "We owe no allegiance to no crown. We owe no allegiance to no crown." So we are carrying on a heritage, 250-year heritage right here today, as we the people speak up directly from that Constitution. I'm a veteran. I've served, as you heard, and if you add my 25 years as a bugler with the Maine State Honor Guard, I've been wearing a uniform on duty for 59 years. But yet, no, the point is, to Donald Trump, I am a sucker. I am a sucker. He called us suckers because we were too stupid to go out there and make money and maybe cheat our neighbors and cheat our contractors. We signed up to serve.
We pay our bills.
And we pay our bills. Yes, indeed. So in this, some of you have a little flag that I passed, some of them that were passed out last time we had this program. And you have a flag that has flown in honor over a veteran's grave, over one of those suckers. What about the losers? What about the losers? Ones who were killed in defending our country, serving our country, those that went missing, leaving families to mourn over empty graves. Oh, they're called losers. A month or so ago, we put out 400 flags in the cemeteries around here. 400. Losers and suckers? No. We need to resist. I have a little flag story to tell you before we start this. Some years ago, when I was working in Machias, I had this grand scheme of putting up an American flag over Main Street, because I was the director of this community agency and there hadn't been a flag up there for forever. So I thought it was a publicity stunt that I was going to paint the flagpole and we were going to have a flag raising. One of our board members was a World War II veteran who had survived the Bataan Death March, if any of you know what that was, to come back to Jonesport, Oscar Look. And so I had Oscar outside after a board meeting, outside in the front steps, Main Street, Machias. I said, Oscar, would you mind coming? I said, I know you're a World War II veteran, you're very patriotic. Would you mind coming and helping raise the flag? He was very quiet for a little bit, looked out across town, and he said, Pete, I couldn't do your flag. I couldn't do your flag. And I said, why not? He said, you just don't know. He said, after that terrible, terrible march, when we lost so many, he said, I ended up in a POW camp way up in the jungle of Burma. He said, we were dying every day of starvation and neglect and abuse. He said, one day, the guards all vanished. The war was over. But we were so far up in the jungle that it took a few days to get to us, to rescue us. And in the meantime, our guys were still dying. But they were dying free. He said, finally some planes came over and dropped some supplies to us. Some of the guys took some parachute material and some rags they found in the camp, and they created and sewed up a very crude American flag. He said, I will never forget 5,000 sick and dying American soldiers trying to stand at attention and help each other to stand at attention to salute that flag going up over their hell. So folks, if you would join with me, put your hand over your heart, and if you're a veteran, salute, pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
So next.
We've got another.
Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna do, as Noah makes his way to the stage, we're gonna do whose flag? Our flag. Whose flag?
Our flag!
Whose flag?
Our flag!
Whose flag?
Our flag!
So Noah Carver is here to sing the national anthem. I've been looking forward to this part of the program for weeks and weeks. We're here today, not because we've accomplished all we'd hoped for, but not because our country has it all figured out. We know this. But because of the promises made in our Constitution, and for the hopes that we have as humans to live in peace and health and prosperity. So Noah, I will leave it to you. I know you had some words
Yes.
that you wanted to share.
Good afternoon, folks.
Good afternoon.
It is an honor to be here to sing our country's national anthem. Before I begin, though, For those who don't know, this morning there was an unspeakable tragedy committed against public servants in this great nation. This morning in Minnesota, state lawmaker Melissa Hortman of Brooklyn Park, Minnesota, and her husband Mark were killed in what appears to be a politically motivated assassination. State Senator John Hoffman of Chamblin, Minnesota, and his wife Yvette were injured. They are leaving surgery, and Governor Tim Walz stated he is cautiously optimistic that they will survive. There is no room in this country for political violence. At this time, before I sing the national anthem, I would ask that we hold a moment of silence for the killed lawmaker and her family, and for the lawmaker and his wife who were injured. Thank you. I don't know if there's a way I can turn this off. What do you want?
You want to turn them off?
No, it's okay. Don't worry about it. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Anything else? Should I pass the box around?
That was awesome.
So let's just chant, Land of the Free. Together. Land of the free.
Land of the free. Land of the free. Land of the free.
As long as you want, people. That's why we're here. All right, so next up is Doug Schoenberg. I've known him for about 5 years. I guess I should say I met them when they crashed my birthday party. That's kind of true. They came with a friend, so they were welcome crashers. And I know that while he and I agree politically on the big picture, he thinks and feels and talks about it very differently than I do. So I thought it'd be a good contrast. I'm really interested to hear what he has to say. So Doug, thank you for joining us.
I've still got shivers. Oh, I've still got shivers running up my spine from that rendition of the national anthem. I don't think I'm going to say anything real surprising.
Okay.
I'm Doug Schoenberg. This is kind of echoing.
No, it sounds good.
It sounds good? Okay. I'm Doug Schoenberg and I live in Steuben. Thank you, Allison, for all your work organizing both this rally and Tuesdays on the bridge. Ongoing involvement is important for each of us and for our movement, and you help make that possible. And thanks for asking me to talk. It's exhausting and energizing. Please join our chant.
Show me what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
Show me what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
Show me what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
Show me what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
Show me what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like. Since the April Cherryfield rally, everything has changed, and in frightening ways. The military is on the street, and a United States senator was wrestled to the floor and handcuffed. And a member of Congress was arrested for doing her job. We are watching a coup. The good news, there were about 1,200 demonstrations around the country on the day we had the April Cherryfield rally. Today, no King's Day, there are 2,000 anti-Trump demonstrations. Attending demonstrations, and we agree, Allison, is about community. It can give us warm feelings and energize us, like the demonstrations against the Vietnam War that energized so many half a century ago. Say that. Our protests then helped end the war, and our efforts today can win this struggle. One of the things that surprised me, well, disappointed me getting here today, is there are so few young people. And I don't understand why they don't understand how this is going to affect their lives. So I guess I just want to encourage all of you to get all the young people you know and get them out here and help them understand that their asses are on the line too.
We are young.
Yeah, but the ones under 60. I don't do that, but anybody who does, please do. Trump and his Supreme Court have bulldozed our legal system. What I learned in law school is now an anachronism. For example, the Supreme Court ruled that our president had broad criminal immunity. That makes him a king.
Criminal.
Thugs in masks make people disappear, even U.S. citizens, without even showing a badge or a warrant. That's the opposite of due process. Let's be an army of peaceful resistors who will do their duty as diligently as the military. We must be strategic and smart. Pro-democracy America must show a united front, not bicker about the issues that have divided us in the past. This is an interesting fact I learned recently. In other countries, when 3.5% of the population were out on the streets demonstrating, tyrants were overthrown. We need 12 million Americans across the country out on the streets. Small demonstrations in towns like Cherryfield is a good beginning.
The people united
We'll never be defeated.
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 The people united
We'll never be divided.
The people
Good enthusiasm. Masha Gessen, a survivor of Putin's rise to power, distinguishes between faith, things will be okay, it can't happen here, and hope, participating in a fight that can make things better. Gessen encourages us, you need hope to take action, but you can't have hope without taking action. They feed on each other. For half a century, Democratic politicians failed to take seriously the fragility of democracy or Republicans' disregard for democratic values. These failures opened the door for Trump. Most recently, the Biden administration didn't promptly prosecute Trump for the attempted coup. So instead of going to jail, he's our president.
Hey ho ho hey hey ho ho
Donald Trump has got to go.
Hey hey ho ho
Donald Trump has got to go.
Hey hey ho ho
Donald Trump has got to go.
Hey, hey, ho, ho, Donald Trump has got to go.
This is the most fun thing I get to say. There is a long struggle ahead, so gird your loins. Jeremiah 1:17. Trump can't properly cite scripture, but we can. It may be a long fight, but we will persevere. Here's how a few wise people think we can contribute to the resistance and preserve our sanity. When Trump's press secretary fabricated economic statistics, Kai Ryssdal, host of NPR's Marketplace, did the right thing and called her a liar. We must demand truth from news sources. In Timothy Snyder's book On Tyranny, he gave us 20 lessons about survival and pushback. They're simple but profound. For example, do not obey in advance. People reflexively respond to repression by obeying in advance, thinking what the tyrant wants us to do or say and doing it without threat or even being asked. Care for your sanity and resist. Don't obey in advance. Stand out. It's easy to follow along and hard but freeing to stand out from those who obey in advance and just go along. Standing out is pushing back. Others will follow. Defend good institutions. The tyrant wants to destroy them as sources of opposition. Do what you can to support them, whether it's a newspaper, your radio station, the independence of local libraries and schools. You could figure out what to do. Be a patriot. A nationalist will say autocracy can't happen here. A patriot will say it could happen, but I will stop it.
No justice, no peace.
No
No
justice,
justice,
no peace.
No justice,
No peace.
no justice.
No peace.
No peace.
Rachel Maddow said, will Trump succeed in destroying our democracy? Will we let him? No. Or will we push back long enough and in large enough numbers to stop him?
Yes.
Heather Cox Richardson said, and this is really a good advice, I think, for how to go about this. Protests are for getting people to join us, not about fighting against the system. They will join us if there's no violence, we look non-threatening, we carry flags, lots of flags here today, and we show them what we are America and share their American values. Trump is deeply unpopular. I think a lot of us haven't really taken that in yet. Talk about at meetings, on social media, wherever you can, about his spending tens of millions of dollars to send troops to LA and tanks to his birthday party. Stand up for science, government weather forecasting, NPR, PBS, national parks, and all the scientific research government does and supports, including cancer research.
Amen.
The bottom line, as I see it, our freedom is fast disappearing, but Americans all over the country are rising to the occasion. We too can do it, and if we do, and if we too can show up to the occasion, and if we do, we will win. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Doug. Awesome. Let's do stand together. Oh, U.S. Post Office. Oh, she's probably not happy with us today. Making her job a lot harder. Hopefully she doesn't mind. Okay, so stand together. Stand.
Together.
Stand.
Together.
Stand.
Together.
Stand.
Together.
And wave at the Trump supporters. Woohoo! It's America. All right. Freedom, that's right. I heard freedom, that's all good. And again, if you guys could step in from the sand, all you guys hanging out on the sand are making me nervous. We have actually, seems like less traffic going back and forth today, but that maybe some of them are still waking up and figuring out we're just here. I'm going to tell you why I'm here today. Part of the reason I'm here today are these words. We, the people of the United States. I got to get a Kleenex, hold on. We, the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, and secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity, do ordain and establish this Constitution for the United States of America. What a crazy idea. It was, but it was so that they came up with this. This is why I'm here, because I believe in this stuff. I'm a crazy optimist. And when asked by Kristen Welker, don't you need to uphold the Constitution of the United States as president? He said, I don't know. Have you watched that tape? Because I watched the tape, because I don't always believe what people tell me, because that sounds so insane. He said, I don't know. Well, guess what, Mr. President? We know. The answer is yes. Yes, you need to uphold the Constitution. Our elected officials and our military all swore an oath to this country and to the Constitution.
So did he.
Yes, theoretically. It's not like optional. Like that's not, one of the boxes you can check. It's essential. It's the only thing he's supposed to be doing. Wouldn't that be great? And here's the thing. We may disagree at times. I'm sorry, I probably should put different glasses on, although I don't know where they are. We may disagree at times about some of the details in that Constitution, right? That's what the Supreme Court is there to help us out with. And as we know, they're not infallible. In the past, we know they have made and had to correct mistakes. And I'm thinking that maybe there are a few mistakes they've made that will be amended in the hopefully near future.
Amen.
And we're here today because we're patriots. We believe in the promise of our founding. We are in some greater or smaller measure optimists. And I know a few of you are not thinking that word applies to you. Well, why are you here then? Because there are other things you could be doing on this beautiful day. I believe that it's because somewhere in you, you still believe that things can get better, that we can right this ship, that what we do matters. And you're right. It's the only thing that matters, especially in these fraught times. Robert Hubble, who I couldn't get through a day without. If you haven't looked him up, please. I know a lot of you read Heather Cox Richardson. Put her right next to Robert Hubble. He wrote the other day about why we need to take to the streets. He says, we're telling our politicians that whatever power you have is based on consent of the governed.
Yes.
And we are withdrawing our consent. We the people. We the people.
We the people.
We the people.
We the people.
We the people.
We the people.
Trump lied.
Every day.
But he lied. He lied to all of us. And here's what I mean. While you caught on to that a few years ago, I trust, there are many of our fellow citizens who did not. A guy from Ohio stopped by on his way to the airport on one of our Tuesdays on the bridge. And he was just getting a coffee, and then he saw our protest, and he was so excited. He came and joined us, borrowed a sign, and for a few minutes he was out there, and I talked to him. He's from a little town in Ohio. A lot of farmers out there. And you know what? He called his neighbors naive. And I thought that was beautiful. And some of you may be thinking they're idiots, and maybe worse, but we can't. Not everyone is like you. My 86-year-old friend keeps reminding me, not everybody's like you. Okay, you're right. Cut people some slack. They saw this man who seems like he knows what's up, right? If you didn't know better, Trump seems like he talks like he knows what's going on. Don't listen too carefully. People remember that he was on TV. And that's how some people are, though. You know, he lives in luxury. He has a beautiful wife. He doesn't seem to care what others think about whatever comes out of his mouth. That's their guy. They don't read Heather Cox Richardson or Robert Hubble. And if they're watching Fox News isn't telling them, you should turn on some other sources and check it out and see if what we're telling you is true. They're just watching the news. They came home from work. They had a long day. They have kids. They have laundry. They have dinner to get on the table. Not everybody's like you. And some of you are sure that, well, they should be. They should be doing that. And good for you. And your privilege, right? That's privilege. Not everybody is born with critical thinking, as we found out, right? So sorry for that mini lecture here. I did say I was a high school teacher. Did I say that? Okay. But we're all Americans, and we're all in the same mess. And the people who voted for Trump are in the same mess we're in. They're paying the same prices at the store. They're having their liberties taken away just as ours are. And they're catching on. He's just about ruined the Ohio farmers that were so sure he was the ticket to a good life, killing the food banks. Well, guess where that food came from? American farmers. Tariffs hurting our American farmers. USAID shut down. Guess who was providing that food for countries around the world who don't have enough food? Oh, American farmers. He's cut them off at the ankles, and they're finally realizing, damn, this is not what we signed up for. So Mr. Ohio out there said his fellow small town citizens are done with Trump. And I think it was Doug who said he's losing his popularity, even among some of his base. We are protectors of the Constitution. I want you to say, we are American patriots. We are protectors of the Constitution.
We are American patriots.
We are protectors of the Constitution.
We are American patriots.
We are protectors of the Constitution.
We are American patriots.
And we are. We're patriots. And I'm going to say patriots way more times than I say Trump, because I don't even like to say that word at all. All right, I'm going to give a shout out to our girl Janet Mills. And again, okay. Some of you may not like her or every little thing she's done. And I'll just remind you, you're married to someone or in relationship with someone, or you have friends and you don't agree with every little thing they do. And you don't just decide, well, heck, I can never have dinner with them now because I disagree with them on one point. We got to cut our politicians some slack. And the purity testing, we look at what's on the other side, people. Like, we can't afford to say, well, they didn't check all 100 of my boxes. I gotta, cut them loose. And again, another mini lecture maybe, I'm sorry. What I wanted to say about Janet was that she showed real integrity in telling Trump she was going to follow the state of Maine's laws, which actually is her job as governor, which, since he doesn't know his job, he's confused about other people's jobs. And I love somebody came up with the saying, Maine fought the law and Maine won, right? Because Trump is not the law. He's not a king. Duh, that's why we're here. No kings. In fact, he and all politicians are servants of the people. Wouldn't that be great if we heard Trump say, I am a servant of the people? Can you imagine? Something would explode. He can have as many parades to himself as he wants, but he is not the law, and he will never be a king with the powers of a dictator in this country. Thank you, Janet Mills, for fighting for our rights. One thing we are seeing every day, and I trust that it gives you hope because it gives me hope. When we fight, we are winning. We are winning overwhelmingly in the courts every single day. We are winning public opinion. When we fight, we win. We're here fighting today, fighting through our fears, all of those things. We are winning. And I love this. As of Wednesday, and I haven't looked at statistics since, 41 Republican senators said they would not be at the parade today. Did you know that? 41 of them said they would not be there. Republicans. 9 would not answer, and only 1 said he would be there, and I don't know who that was, but God bless his heart. I don't have that statistic, or I would be shouting it from the rooftops. So I want to continue with an idea from our last rally. How many of you were here in April? Yeah, okay. Well, we talked about billionaires, if you remember, and like what you would do if you had $1 billion, what I would do if we had $1 billion. And it was weird because none of it was the same as what Elon and the other billionaires were doing. We were completely on a different page. So the other thing about those billionaires, because now it's June, I'm wondering more about the billionaires and the millionaires and the institutions, newspapers, universities, giant corporations, law firms, broadcast stations, who are making deals with him as if their very lives depended on it. And I have to ask, what about your integrity, guys? Because Janet Mills, right? She showed integrity. Like, this is my job. I'm going to follow the Maine law. I'm not telling you what I think about the law. It's the law. So I'm the governor. I enforce the law. I used to tell my high school students that my integrity was one of the most important things I had. It's really all you have. They take everything else. The only thing you're kind of in control of is your integrity. And I bucked a lot of rules and systems as a teacher. I don't know why I wasn't fired at least 14 times, but one of the things was so silly. The schools were not allowed in California to send excess food to homeless or anyone else. If the kids didn't eat the lunch that was put in front of them, they had to throw it away. Well, I thought that was ridiculous. And my teenage students were very happy to break the law and put the salads and milks and apples in my refrigerator so I could take it to the homeless after school. Integrity is defined as being whole and consistent in one's actions, thoughts, and beliefs. And sure, we all fall short, but not often in the publicly humiliating ways we have seen from the billionaire individuals and institutions in our country. Right? Wouldn't it be embarrassing if everybody knew that you had no integrity? Because if having $1 billion, like $1 billion, doesn't give you enough courage to tell others to booger off, and there's another phrase that would fit well there too, but kind of a family show today, so we're keeping it cleaner. Then I guess I don't want to be a billionaire anymore. I thought I did, but I'm done. Remember when Bezos, I thought this was particularly shameful. He was going to show us the price on Amazon that was due to the tariffs. And then Trump called him and he said, no, I'm not going to do that anymore. What? Like, that's how easy it was? Are we okay over there? Yes. Okay, thank you. There's a spare chair, a couple spare chairs if somebody needs a chair. Please be safe. We're a community. All right. Okay. I love you guys. All right. I continue to choose to fight from a place of hope. I continue to believe that our Constitution, with its flaws and hopes and aspirations, is one of the greatest imaginings that humans have come up with. They imagined it out of stuff, and they put it together in their own way. I believe in due process, and I believe it will be reestablished soon in our country for all who are here. Our Constitution is clear. Those rights are not just for citizens, not just for the people who have the correct place of birth. They are for all people who are in this country. Because for me, this is getting really personal. Somebody revving us up, or I don't know where that's coming from. I taught high school, like I said, in California for 20 years. And I taught in the Central Valley, home to many, many migrant workers and their families. The hardworking people we are supposed to be afraid of. They're picking your food, so try, keep it in perspective. It's just ridiculous. I happen to teach the toughest and most uncooperative kids at our school. That's what I wanted to do. I like to think I was good at it. And I was always trying to teach them much more than history and English. A former student contacted me just this week. Haven't talked to him in 14 years. He's a DACA kid, now a 30-year-old man with 2 kids of his own. He lives in that horribly gray area of the immigration mess that smart legislation could fix. Why is no one talking about legislation to fix the immigration problem? We're just going to round up people and put them in whatever. Do you remember when we used to make laws and, have things? I remember those days, and I believe that they're coming back. It's going to come back in fashion. Legislators making laws. I believe in that. Legislators making laws. And then we wouldn't be spending our tax dollars rounding up fathers and mothers who are working and paying taxes and calling them enemies. Francisco's been here since he was a baby. He didn't choose where he was born. He didn't choose where he was raised. But to tell him now he should abandon his family and move back to Mexico. What? We raised him here. See, they agree with us, USA. We're all about USA. And Springsteen would be so happy that they are using his tune. Anyway, back to Francisco. And I'm trying to deflect because this is very emotional for me. We raised him here. We educated him here. He's contributing to society here. Is anyone here wasn't born here in Maine? Anyone here not born in Maine? You know what? We're thinking about sending you back. There might not be room here for you. Right? It sounds crazy. And people say, oh, it's a different country. It makes a difference. Does it? Does it? We just should go back to where we were born because. So my student is stressed. He's afraid. He's lonely. He told me his kids eat every day, but he doesn't. What a way to measure success. Oh, no kings. There were no kings. They're supporting us, actually. His kids eat every day. That's what he wanted me to know. Is that success in America? My kids eat every day. I haven't eaten for a couple days, Beatty, but my kids, I don't care what happens. My kids will eat every day. And he wasn't calling me because he wanted money. Very insulting to him when I finally said, hey, can I send you some cash? He's like, dude, you just insulted me. These are the messages that pass back and forth between us, and I'm almost done here. He said, I just remember how you are, not taking anything from anyone, brave, strong. I've always wanted to be like you. You've taught me to be fearless. Remember, I was an English and history teacher, so there was other things going on evidently in the classroom. He says, Beatty, you really stuck to my brain and my heart. And so, yeah, I'm on that bridge every Tuesday at noon. I'm on that bridge every Tuesday at noon until 4 years? Yeah, I hope it's only 4 years. I am on that bridge at Tuesday at noon until, and I hope many of you will join us. What do we got? I'm sorry? Woohoo! USA! USA!
USA! USA! USA!
Thank you. We are here to be part of the resistance to the desecration of our Constitution, to upholding decency and decent people's values. We will not be silent. The silence of Republicans is particularly shameful, isn't it, right now? Yeah. But we will not be silent. We will not be silent. We will
Not be silent!
We will
Not be silent!
We will.
Not be silent!
All right, wonderful. Our program continues with, this is very exciting. Jordan Wood is here, and I'm going to get this next bit of speaking. Thank you for sharing, sir. Very good. Have a good day. So Jordan Wood is a Mainer who has been fighting to preserve democracy and the influence of corporations in politics his whole career. At End Citizens United, some of you know that organization. He worked to limit the impact of the Supreme Court's ruling that opened the floodgates of dark, unaccountable money in politics. He then joined Representative Katie Porter of California, one of my favorite heroes. And when I saw that on the resume, I was like, let's have this gentleman here as her chief of staff to call out corporate greed at the expense of the working citizen. And in advance of the 2024 election cycle, he started yet another nonprofit, Democracy First. Some of you may also be aware of that, which actively recruited and supported candidates for public office that took an oath to uphold frameworks of democracy, such as, here's a good idea, peaceful transfer of power, equitable access to the ballot box,
Yes, please!
and free and fair elections. All good ideas. It doesn't seem like revolutionary, but right now. Now in this moment when our democracy is under assault and our elected officials have concern but not courage, please welcome your next U.S. Senator from Maine. All right, I like it. Jordan Wood.
Thank you so much for the warm welcome, and thank you all for being here and inviting me. Jordan Wood, running for the U.S. Senate against Susan Collins. I live in Bristol with my husband, but I'm originally from Lewiston. It's been mentioned earlier, but I want to take a moment for Melissa Hortman, who passed away this morning with her husband, who I did not know, but from what I do know, she was a true public servant who had courage to stand up for democracy, the rule of law, anti-violence, and to make our country and her state of Minnesota a better place. So we are in a dark time, and I think it's important to remember our elected officials who by just standing up and serving in office are making a sacrifice. And that community will be forever altered by this tragedy. I decided to run because I do believe we are in a national crisis. Our democracy, the rule of law are all on the line. And this rise of political violence is one of the best examples, the worst examples of that. And it was mentioned I was Katie Porter's chief of staff, but I stepped down from that role to start Democracy First and help restore consensus for nonpartisan pro-democracy principles. And I did that after spending January 6th on Capitol Hill barricaded in an office. We were there for certification. Well, violent insurrectionists worked to overthrow our democracy, and that event exposed for the whole country just how vulnerable democracy is when there is a movement of people who are willing to subvert it, to take power. And that if we do not uphold these nonpartisan principles, we will not last long as a democracy. That day also reminded me of the importance of courage, because as we were barricaded in that office, it was myself, Katie Porter, AOC, and her chief of staff, and we figured out how an escape plan. How do we get out of here if they break into our office building? But we stayed because we had to certify that election, and we could not let these anti-democratic forces win. That took courage, and it's what we need today. And courage is exactly what we do not see from our Senator Susan Collins, and it is why I got in this race, because this moment demands courage. It demands it, and it is the only way that we will succeed. And as I thought about getting into this race, I have a 5-month-old baby, my husband and I's first child, and the sacrifice it would be on our family to run. I thought, Maine is a place that has such a rich history and tradition of courage when our country has been in crisis. From the Civil War and Joshua Chamberlain to Margaret Chase Smith 75 years ago, last week, when she stood up and called out her own party's assault on democracy and the danger that it posed to this country, to most recently, and you say Janet Mills has integrity, I say she has courage. She stood up in the White House when so many other Democratic leaders were willing to throw a marginalized group of people under the bus. She stood up for the rule of law, and she said, I will see you in court, and she won. That takes courage. And so I feel I'm running we are a small state, but we are a state that has done big things in crises, and I hope to do that again in this election. The first demonstration I ever attended was in Lewiston in 2003. Many of you might remember this, but this was after there had been a wave of refugees who had moved to Lewiston from Somalia, Congo, and other places. And a group of neo-Nazis from away were coming in to have a hate rally to tell them to go home. And in response to that, the city of Lewiston came together and had a counter march. There were 15 people at the Nazi rally, and there were 5,000 at the protests. And if we have to remember that this was in 2003, this was soon after 9/11, when there was so much fear and hate in this country. And a town like Lewiston came together and said, this is who we are, this is who Maine is, and this is what we will stand up for, what is right and just. We need a senator with courage in this moment, and we do not have it. We need a senator with the courage to stand up for our democracy, for this Constitution, for the rule of law in our state. If elected next November, I promise you I will be that senator. I will stand up for what's right, and I will have the courage to defend this country. So thank you all for being here. It's so important to remember that the event that happened in Minnesota this morning is not just an isolated event of violence. It is meant to intimidate and create fear. It is meant to scare you from showing up today. That's what and when we give into their fear, when we lose our hope, they win. So it is more important than ever to show up, continue to show up on the bridge every Tuesday, because if we keep our hope alive and we stand together, we can win. And I have to mention, I live in Bristol, and in Damariscotta, we have met on our bridge also every Tuesday. And you don't always know the effect that demonstration has, but I remember driving across that bridge when people started to gather just organically. And at the same time, we had political leaders in Washington telling us that demonstration and protest didn't matter, that this was not going to bring change. And no, this does, because it helped inspire me to run in the first place. It helped inspire me to remember that if we stand in solidarity, that we can win. If we have courage, we can win. And so thank you all for giving up what is now a beautiful day to stand here and demonstrate. Continue to do it. We have a lot on the line in this election, but democracy is intrinsically tied to hope, and if we keep hope alive, we can win this election, and we can succeed, and we can overcome this. So thank you all. Thank you for allowing me to join you today, and keep it up.
Thanks very much for getting in touch with us and coming out to speak to us. Okay, so this program is going on, and we got more programming on the river. I love it. But now it's time for music. Brian Dyer Stewart, I've been waiting for this all day. Music to soothe and strengthen us, Brian. Brian Dyer Stewart, well-known local musician, songwriter, unbelievable. There's every Wednesday in my backyard we have, and David, we have open mic. If you don't know about that, it's just across the river around the corner. You can hear Brian many Wednesdays there, but guess what? You get to hear him today. And he volunteered to be with us here in this difficult time. And then we do go over to the bridge with our signs. I promise. You could go now if you want to. Maybe you could go talk to Mr. Pontoon on the river. Brian.
Well, it is an amazing thing to be together. I think, the weird juxtaposition in these times is that every day seems to have such cruelty and terror and division and corruption and on. And yet, juxtaposed against this, for us, is the beauty of community, the things that we do for one another, and the beautiful place that the world is. I wanted to do some songs that we could sing together. It's a difficult thing. A lot of the songs we know from the peace movement go back to the 60s, and I love those songs. And we're due one of them anyway. But I also thought we'd do a couple newer things. And the first song I'd like to do is a song called No Hate, which was written just a couple years ago. And the chorus is pretty easy. And I can feed you the lines before they happen, kind of the old Pete Seeger thing. And the chorus goes, no hate can strike us down, no lies will turn us round. When we stand together and hold each other true, no hate can strike us down. So why don't we try that part in? Let's see if I know it. Hate can strike us down, no lies will turn us round. No lies will turn us round when we stand together. When we stand together and hold each other true, no hate can strike us. No hate can strike us down. Let's just do that much again. No hate can strike us down, no lies will turn us round. No lies will turn us round when we stand together. When we stand together and hold each other true. No hate. No hate can strike us down. May we be spared the scourge of war. May we remember what our lives are for. To care for one another, see no stranger at the door. May we be spared the scourge of war, no hate. And no hate can strike us down, no lies will turn us. No lies will turn us round when we stand together. When we stand together and hold each other true. No hate can strike us down. When did we forget our sister's face? Start to see her as other, her humanity erased. We all rise and fall together. We share one sacred space. When do we forget her face? No hate. No hate can strike us down. No lies. No lies will turn us round when we stand together. When we stand together and hold each other true. No hate. No hate can strike us down. Tyrants and dictators will rise. They may seem invincible, but all meet their demise. Throughout all of history, it's only love that never dies. Love is the source of every life. No hate. No hate can strike us down. No lies will turn us round. No lies will turn us round when we stand together. When we stand together and hold each other true. No hate. No hate can strike us down. No hate can strike us down. One last time. No hate can strike us down. Nice singing. Thank you for singing. There's a song from 1983 from a woman named Betsy Rose, only a letter short of Betsy Ross, so it seemed a good one to do, called Same Boat Now. And the chorus is really simple. It goes, we may have come here on different ships, but we're in the same boat now. And it repeats that twice. We may have come here on different ships, but we're in the same boat now. Again, we may have come here on different ships, but we're in the same boat now. Well, I'm going to raise it, it's a little low there for me. Sorry about that. I'll get back to it. Hopefully it's just right. Some of us came here for freedom, from hunger and from hate. Some of us came here to make it rich, and some of us came here in chains. We gathered in the cities, we claimed the new frontier. We pulled the cotton from the land that we watered with our tears. We may have come here on different ships, but we're in the same boat now. Yes, we may have come here on different ships, but we're in the same boat now. Well, some grew rich by toil and trade, some grew rich by vice, some grew rich in power, and all of us paid the price. And in the name of progress, how we grind each other down. But no one is the winner when we're building on bloody ground. 'Cause we may have come here on different ships, but we're in the same boat now. We may have come here on different ships, but we're in the same boat now. This is when I wish I were a woman here, because this is women of all colors, from every walk of life. We bore the hidden burdens as workers, daughters, and wives. We're hired when we're needed. We're sent home when the jobs run down. They think we're waiting on the shore, but we're turning the boat around. We may have come here on same boat now. We may have come here on different ships, but we're in the same boat now. Oh, we're a people born of many shores, our journey's so entwined. But we'll be on a sinking ship if we leave anybody behind. I don't wanna be in no melting pot, 'cause we're a rainbow family. It's gonna take everything we got to set each other free. We may have come here on different ships, but we're in the same boat now. We may have come here on different ships, but we're in the same boat. We're in the same boat. We're in the same boat now. There we go. So maybe while we walk up to the bridge, we could do We Shall Overcome. Remember the 60s here with us.
I'm actually going to want to say a couple of words.
Oh, you got a couple words first. Sorry, here it comes.
Just because, no, wait, stay right here. Stay right here.
I'll be right here.
Okay, all right, just hold on, because we do have extra visitors. So we're on the bridge. We have, guests who are visiting from below. We're not throwing any. If you throw anything into that river, I swear you'll be sorry you're on my bad side. I want to thank everybody who's part of this program, and thank my husband, who could be doing something else today on a beautiful Saturday like this, but supports us all and supports me in doing this. Please remember that the bridge is wide enough for you, but the street is narrow, so please be safe. Don't wave your flags into the street. We're really not engaging, and we can wave and smile and sing to the guy who doesn't know that Bruce Springsteen is a Democrat. All right, people, thank you all for being here so much. This was a great day. And again, we'll continue on the bridge.
Thank you, Allison.
Our start you here with We Shall Overcome, and please keep singing it if you can as we go. We shall overcome. We shall overcome. We shall overcome someday. Oh, deep in my heart, I believe that we shall overcome someday. We are not afraid. We are not afraid. We are not afraid today. Oh, deep in my heart, I do believe that we shall overcome someday. And the truth will set us free. The truth will set us free. The truth will set us free someday. Oh, deep in my heart, I do believe that we shall overcome someday. We shall overcome. We shall